Welcome to the FANOMICS Podcast. Our FANOMICS experts discuss with top-level executives how they turn their customers into fans.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining our FANOMICS podcast today, where we discuss not only the philosophy behind turning customers into fans and the importance of employees as fans, but also the tangible journeys and the results achieved by companies who have implemented the FAN principle into their ways of doing business. So with this in mind, I would like to welcome Mr. Joachim Geiger to our podcast. Joachim is Chief Sales and Marketing Officer of the TRILUX Group based in Arnsberg, Germany. And TRILUX is an industry leader and a global player for technical lighting solutions. And if I may, a not so hidden champion in the industry and the German economy. You have over 5,000 employees and are present in 50 countries. So, Mr. Geiger, or Joachim, first of all, welcome. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Certainly a pleasure to have you with us today, especially since you do have those genuine, tangible experiences with the FAN principle. So thanks for being here.
Yeah, we do. Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for considering us no longer a hidden champion. Thank you very much. Honestly speaking, I think a lot of players in light or in lighting still are being kind of hidden, because even if lighting is very much important, should be on top of everybody's mind, it's not to the full awareness. So it's okay if we still consider ourselves, let's say, between hidden and unhidden. But thanks for having me. Thanks for being interested in what we do with FANOMICS. Yeah, and also a little bit on our journey and route to success. So yeah, again, thanks for the invitation. Really honored to be here.
Great. Without patting yourself on, or without us patting you on the back too much, but maybe it's in order, I would like to say congratulations, first of all, because TRILUX, as you know, has excellent customer relationships, and you can proudly boast a measurable fan rate of up to 25%. And quite frankly, that's an outstanding figure in the B2B sector. So it begs the question, I guess, the initial question of who exactly are your customers and how do you really turn them into fans?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks. So we are really, really proud and honored, and it's also big thanks to you and the entire FANOMICS team to achieve this outstanding result of 25% fans among our customers. That's truly outstanding in the industry. Our customers, and I think this is kind of special in our business scope and how our business is defined. We sell, we engineer, we develop, we produce lighting solutions, and since years we developed our brand to simplify light. So our dedication, our position, and the sweet spot in the industry is we make individual lighting solutions simple, and this needs long-lasting customer relationships. And our customers are architects, they are light planners, they are electrical installers, they're consultants, they are the end users, and also international key accounts, and also our trade partners. So in the entire sales funnel, you will not find anybody missing. So if the question is who you're focusing on, we focus on all. So we are in the entire buying, and that makes things very special. I think this is also part of our success story, that we really cover all these different target groups. But at the same time, when we talk about FANOMICS, how do we turn customers into fans? It makes it quite complex, because of course, to an architect, you talk a different tongue and you have different arguments than you would have to an electrical installer. And that's very much individual, and that needs high customer proximity. And that's a little bit our scope in when we turn customers into fans, actually.
Okay. There was a lot of different elements that we just spoke of. Maybe if I could touch on what you brought up before, a positioning element, if you will, of simplify your light. Right. Obviously more than just a slogan, but to what extent does that contribute to the emotional loyalty, if it's understood, of customers and to employees?
Yeah, very much. So it's by far much more than a slogan, because when we decided to develop, to migrate, to grow our brand from new light, which was the previous brand positioning to simplify our lives. So number one, I think it was really a bold decision away, because as a market leader, what we are in Germany and the German-speaking countries, that's of course always a big challenge to migrate a strong, well-positioned brand. So if you have a high brand reputation, to change on that identity, that's a massive project. But we understood, and here also FAN and FANOMICS played a major role. We very much in detail surveyed, and based on this, we understood what are the key principles, what's the leverage to our customers. And we understood it's basically two. And here, all these target groups I was mentioning in the beginning, from the architects via trade to the end user, they have two things actually in common. They have two things in common where, this is the unifying element. This is the link between all of them. And this is, number one, act as a partner. So be very close in the relationship, be reliable, and be leading. So both, these are the two elements, no matter if we talk to an architect, installer, trade, all those target groups mentioned. So that's the key point. We dedicated ourselves, and we said this is to be achieved. And with the basis on all the research we made together with you, with FANOMICS, we understood how to synchronize and how to develop the touch points to have exactly these two arguments transferred to the customer in every touch point, and strengthening our position. And of course, we didn't arrive. We are still on our way. Yes, we are proud to have 25% achieved, but 30 is even better. And after 30 comes 40. So
it certainly is. The fans obviously, have a value. They're going to be worth more, if you will. They're going to buy more. They're going to be ambassadors. All of these, they'll help you with service or product development. I want to make sure that we, for our listeners, also be able to get to the point of saying the FAN principle relates to actually now the business context or the customer relationships in a measurable way, which we term FANOMICS, and the benefits that you've seen. What kind of benefits have you already seen by focusing on an actual FANOMICS approach?
The benefit, of course, is number one, we do follow a route. If you manage a company with more than 5,000 employees, if you're present in 50 markets, if you're a technical company which is designed to be close to the customer, so there you have a lot of things in change and really in a stretch, which is a challenge in itself. FANOMICS actually helped and still helps us because we are following this route. It's part of our DNA. It helps us to be understood in all parts of the organization, the company. So it's not a guesswork. It is hard facts. It is not dedicated to a moment. It's a direction. It is to create our better future self. So when we committed to follow the FAN principle, we kind of shaped our future self as a company and said in 5 or in 10 years time, we will be positioned as follow. This is our North Star. And here FANOMICS and the way to an increased FAN ratio is a fantastic principle, actually, to go and to travel this journey together with everybody involved. And this is not just for us as a company, not for everybody who's employed in TRILUX, not only our hashtag Team TRILUX team. This is also for our partners, and this is also for our customers. So it is a much wider scope what we tackle with the FANOMICS principle than just only internally. Also, everybody involved is more or less part of this journey.
Excellent to know. In fact, you're right. I believe you wholeheartedly. It's a large scope, and it's because of it's a broader scope, and everybody is being brought into the fold makes it successful. We talk about understanding the needs of the customer. That's where it begins. Do we truly understand what they're wanting? Do we have the focus internally on those needs? Are we able to orchestrate everything we do around it, the activities, the measures, pulling in the various groups? You have, and if we talk about orchestration, you have a dual role of a chief marketing officer and sales head. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm responsible for the funny things in life. That's true.
Well, sometimes a lot of companies don't think it's very funny to try to put these two things together and pulling in the same direction. What's your experience with the success factors of getting everyone going along the lines of, hey, this is our focus at sales. This is how it meshes with marketing and so on?
Yeah, that's a good question, because at the end it is about efficiency and speed, and both I'm very much convinced, and we are very much convinced, is essential in our market. So if you're in lighting industry, if you have projects with end customers, with specifiers, with architects, whatever, it's very important that number one, you represent a strong brand, and number two, you walk your talk and you're very individual. Because if you make a project in Switzerland, it'll turn out to be different than what you do in Dubai, in Germany, or in the Nordics countries, wherever you are. So at the end, yes, we still have a luminaire, which is being sold, but what you do and why you sell it, what your unique selling proposition actually is very diverse. So in combination with FAN and implementing the FAN principles, we also implemented our local lead principle, how we call it. It means, yes, even if we are a strong group and we are a German company, and we have a plan, we have our future self and our North Star, still decisions are being taken in front of the customer. So this is what we call local lead. And this diversity actually helps us. It doesn't harm us. It helps us. Of course, it makes things quite complex, because even if we talk about the customer is always different. And today things will appear different than they were yesterday and will be tomorrow. If you have a setup and if you're dedicated to be flexible and really be local led, then it's a question how you build this link to your manufacturing, to your R&D, because also our investments, if we go for a new product, that's a 2 years project, may well be where the customers are involved. Local lead helps us to be still sharp and crisp in the decisions we take and make the organization follow. And FAN actually was our accelerator to get this principle also established, because know the why is always more important than the what and the how.
Absolutely. Knowing the purpose, knowing the why. And as a multinational, you've been able to capture the entire corporation, if you will, to say this is why. Having said that, I would like to, at a later time, or just in a few minutes, talk about some of the cultural differences. If I could, maybe switch gears on us a little bit and talk about, at the risk of buzzwords of digitalization and things like that, I would like to talk about digitalization. Perhaps through the pandemic that we all have gone through, it's
forgotten, huh? Almost forgotten.
Almost. If I hadn't had it 4 months ago, I would have forgotten about it. In any case, perhaps owing to the pandemic, it certainly has had a push for digitalization, and it's been accelerated over the past few years. I just wanted to understand the role that customer contact and customer communication via digital channels, how much that plays at TRILUX now.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the pandemics was a drama for us as a company, for us as a team, for everybody involved. Of course, there is nothing of good things from the pandemics, honestly speaking. But the one thing which is closest to be helpful, to be honest, was the acceleration in the transition. We started quite early and by far before the pandemics to prepare ourselves to be more digital, because when you're a global player, when you are in a lot of markets, and when you're there to serve your customers, you need to be available at any time of the night and day. And that was always our principles, to walk the talk, be transparent and give information. And digital is a very strong help for this. And the pandemics really accelerated us towards digital transformation. And today, let me say, I think it's fair to say that the quality of meetings with customers improved through digital transformation, because the contact is at any time of the day and night. So whatever you want to have on information from TRILUX about products, about service, about your delivery, whatever you're looking for, we are online. You'll find everything on your webpage. We have a fantastic tool with TRILUX One, since years established, where we have a collaboration platform. You can collect your orders. You can see your order status. Everything's online, even light plannings. We are today in the position to make a first draft online, which is a massive, massive help. And this is really simplify your light in the real meaning of the word. Still, and this is part of our marketing and sales plan, the more we go digital, the more we also go analog. So we have more than 6,000 square meters of showroom, and we are building more because we want to meet our customers. We want to sit face to face. We want to show what lighting is about. And there is a difference between lighting and light, because light is just illuminating the space, switch on or off. But if you have the lighting behind, you see the atmosphere, you see an emotional space, you see a cozy atmosphere in the evening and an energizing at noon. And this is all different. Yes, you can look at the spec sheet and you can see the luminous flux, which the luminary is emitting. But at the end, seeing is believing. You need to be in, feel it, and then you're convinced. So this is why we have some operational stuff, which is before, and that's always could be done digital. But meet the customers, have quality time is always the preference. And the combination of both is a good one.
That's perfect advice, or actually just the experience. I think that's what our listeners want to hear. They say, yeah, it's a word that people say all the time, digitalization. We're not doing 100% of that and giving up on the analog side of the house. But can you give me a little more tangible experience? And what your experience is we have an IT platform where we share. We've upped our game because of that. Customers, because this being able to be a partner is so important. They're able to reach us. They're able to get into more information that they didn't have since Fan Principle, perhaps. Maybe it was going hand in hand, but they want tangible experiences of yours. So
yeah, and that's what we did actually. So when we created this platform, the TRILUX One platform, we used our research and our information we sourced via FANOMICS and via the Fan Principles, because we are now in a monthly review of the most relevant touch points. So on those touch points, we track and trace. Was this good enough? Is this walking the talk? Do we really develop towards being leading and acting as a partner? If no, we'll improve immediately with a high priority. If that's okay, we'll maintain and keep that touch point. Based on those information, we create the touch points online. So we exactly know from all these multiple things, where are we? What's the status? How much is this appreciated by our customers? And it may well be that the platform in country A is different to B, because customers do appreciate it differently. And here it plays a very important role, and also changed our way of thinking, that what we learned from FANOMICS on hard facts feeds back and kicks back to the project team to improve this touch point and be even closer, be even better. And the result, the feedback is really fantastic, because from a basic idea, it became really one of our essential change driver in our organization, the TRILUX One platform.
That's excellent to hear, because of course we're fans of the Fan Principle of FANOMICS, but we are fans of making it measurable. It has to mean something. You don't just measure to measure, you measure to make changes or to improve. So a tangible empirical evidence is what helps you make decisions.
The point is, and let me encourage all the listeners also, that the feedback what you'll have from FANOMICS and what you'll do in the research is be prepared. It's not what you'd like to hear, because it's very often the opposite of things which are easy to fix. If you, I don't know, have the office hours for more than 1 hour open, that's easy to change. If you say, okay, we need to have this touch point improved, it may well be that's out of the comfort zone. And so it was for us. Okay. But at the end, if you go the hard way, if you take the bumpy road at the end, and 25%, I guess, are a good feedback, are a fantastic result of what we did so far, it's really worthwhile going this way and listen carefully to what the hard facts of FANOMICS tell you.
Very glad to hear you say that. Let's talk about the value of fans. We spoke about it before, that the fan obviously is the one who refers with passion, is an ambassador for your brand. In some cases, they cross buy, they cross purchase, they can help you develop future products or services. How do you use the potential of those who you've identified as fans?
Well, yes. So I think there is no question that if you're a fan, if you have an emotional link to your partner, to your supplier, then it's always the better relationship. It's you trust each other, and it's in every relationship, especially I think also in business, trust is much better than control. So once you are in a fan relationship, a lot of things come easier. And we said before, it's very essential to understand about the why. And those customers who turn to be our fans are also very close for us in our development process, for example. So we are now 111 years, and we are a technical company. We have 6 manufacturing plants all over the world, which have different tasks and different portfolios to take care. And all this comes from the customer. So we need to understand, and fans tell us exactly what's needed. And they also give us kind of a prediction, kind of a future self of the industry. And for us, we are still a mid-sized company, it's very important to have the best possible information. So we involve our customers, our fans, into our open innovation process. That's one thing. Of course, we're proud to have them as our ambassadors, and also promote our brand and share that they like and trust TRILUX Simplify Your Light. But it's also that in the projects we are with these fans, things come more easy. Things are more established, because if you do something for the second, third, fourth time, you get more and more the same speed and you talk the same tongue. So things come easier. When things come easier, you're always better. So it's also kind of an acceleration in itself, because these 3 points in being an ambassador, involving into future innovations, and simplifying the operational business actually is to the benefit of our customers. That's priority number 1, but also the priority benefit for us, because we are more safe in the decisions we take and more simple in the actions we take.
Right. I mean, you just defined the importance of a high quality relationship, and you have with these fans, you shall have more frequent contacts as well by integrating them.
Absolutely.
You know, we hear and we see it more often, more present in today's business and corporate strategies. Words like sustainability or social responsibility or purpose. You said your why, or what are our values. How does TRILUX bring these things to life, or how important it is that your customers and employees understand that these things are important to you?
Yeah, we are, as said before, with 111 years in the industry and with a leading solution provider and company, Germany and German-speaking countries, available in 50 countries in the world. We feel very much responsible for topics like sustainability and CSR, and that's essential for us. That's a very, very big responsibility. What we have. Also, FAN principle, let's say, supports us, because it tells us much more about what is key and what's relevant for our customers. And it helps us to continue this road, because we as TRILUX, I mean, the brand name TRILUX, not sure if you know, TRILUX actually is from 3 times, so 3, and lux for luminous flux, means years and years before, we found a way that 3 times of the luminous flux comes from a standard from a standard luminaire, from a standard bulb. Mm-hmm. So that was the principle. So efficiency is engraved in the DNA of our company. So we always committed to efficiencies, to sustainability, and having that proven and having that supported and fueled by what we learn with the customer proximity, which is supported by FAN, is a fantastic link both concepts have together. And this is where we're very much committed to go further and also stay in the lead and keep the lead, especially also in sustainability, because the lighting industry is a very strong, powerful tool, I think, to sustainability. We can change things really to the better with better lighting.
Very good. We rightfully talk about turning customers into fans, but the importance of the employees identifying with TRILUX and being the fan makers of our customers is obviously essential. You talked about the 5,000 employees, the presence in 50 markets. How much of a challenge is it to foster the unified communication or the unified culture in such a large international undertaking?
Well, I would love to say it's not a challenge, because if you have a mission and everybody loves this, it's quite easy to follow, but that's part of the truth. Of course, I mean, we are blessed that lighting is a fantastic area and business to work in, because we are illuminating spaces, we change things for the better, we help on sustainability, we work with architects, with so many customers, we're international. So it's really a nice industry, to be honest. But still, you're right. How to make our team take the lead in the FAN principle, because at the end, and this is the challenge, and this is why I like the FAN principle so much. It really makes the difference beyond the technical parameters. And yes, we do produce luminaires. Every 20 seconds, we close the box of a newly produced luminaire. But still, the difference is being made by the people. And still, the difference is being made by walking the talk, keep the promise, and also keeping the change. So the local lead principle, what I referred to before, together with the team, nothing would be possible if the team is not fully committed. So what we do is a lot of training. What we do is a lot of transparency. What we do is a lot of empowering our people also to bring in their ideas and to be brave and take decisions. So this is the way actually how we manage the company, because, as I said, speed does matter, and the passion our people have does matter. And at the end, it's if you love what you do, you're doing great, and then you're successful. And this is why customers become our fans, because they also want to be successful and want to love what they do. Simple as that.
Makes sense. And there's a distinct process, though, for having your employees turn into what we would term fan makers and with the customers.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's an essential part in our 10 academies. So TRILUX has, since 11 years now, we have academies in all big countries where we do share information with our employees, with our team, where we onboard the people, where we keep on training. And here, FAN is also one work stream in our academy to educate our people what it takes to be a FAN, collect more ideas. So it's not just only sending information, it's also the bi-directional flow, return. How can we improve? And from here, bring it back to our FAN principle. This is all part of our efforts in creating FANs.
Okay. Joachim, we're almost at the end of our conversation, and I want to thank you. However, if it's possible, I'd like you to help me or join me in taking a small look into the future. And what that means is, I don't want to put you on the spot. However, if you'd help me finish or complete some sentences that are blank at the end, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, take the challenge.
Helps me a little bit to gain some insight into the way you tick and the way you think as well. So the first question I have is, in 10 years, so this is the future look. In 10 years, TRILUX will be a fill in the blank.
In 10 years, TRILUX will be an even more customer-orientated organization in all the relevant markets we are in, standing for individual, simplified, and sustainable lighting solutions with a great team involved.
Excellent. Here we go. There's a lot of 10 years statements here. In 10 years, the topic of customers as fans will, or customers to fans will.
Sorry, the beginning was, what was the beginning?
In 10 years, the subject or the topic of customers to fans will.
That's an easy one. Will be very much in the DNA of everybody within TRILUX and also our partners. So it definitely will be our guiding idea and principle in the TRILUX business.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to look into your crystal ball a little bit deeper now and say, in 10 years, lighting solutions as we know them today will.
Well, in 10 years, lighting solutions as we know them today will be still existing, but they will be much smarter. They will be much more sustainable, and they will be of even a higher relevance because the market, the industry, everybody will understand how powerful, how essential, how important the individual lighting solutions is.
Okay, coming down to there's a need for individual powerful solutions. Okay.
Yes.
In 10 years, creating meaning, or as you said, purpose in TRILUX will
be as strong as it is today, because this is something where we already very much focus. But the meaning we have from where there is light, there is life, which is our direction today, will be even more strengthened. And in all applications people thinking about light will think about TRILUX.
Okay. Tarot card, crystal ball, whatever you want to call it. In 10 years, Joachim Geiger, will.
I will still be fan of the FAN principle. As a matter of fact, 10 years time, I will have for sure my son finishing university, knock on wood. And in 10 years time, I think I will be faster with my next marathon than what I did last year.
You know, I think you and I have a lot in common. That's one thing that we do not have in common, and we'll leave it at that.
You never say never.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can say never on that.
Let's talk in 9.5 years, and there is still 6 months for your training.
Fair enough. Well, Joachim, we have reached the end of the discussion. I wanted to thank you very much it was a very personable talk. I know that we can stay at certain levels when you talk about FAN principle, what it means to the economics or the business side of customer relationships. And as you get deeper into, as you said, orchestration or touch points and measuring, you can only go so deep in perhaps 20 minutes. But I wanted to thank you for your time and the insights into TRILUX and to yourself as well. Appreciate that very, very much.
Thank you very much, Bill. Thanks for having me. Thanks for that very interesting communication and discussion. And looking forward to our next round. And then I'll be prepared to give you some questions where you are in 10 years and what the FAN principle will be about.
Easy peasy.
Thanks, Bill. Big
Thank
pleasure.
You.